morgen hår. Rødom i solhår. KharKhulz gjennom tar. Mongol i nikkel hår. Happy morgen hår. Rødom i solhår. Hei, 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 hei.
For this project, I spent some time thinking how I can make my Northern Alliance army unique. The common problem is that everyone does Northern Alliance to a snow team. It's like Abyssal Dwarfs being done in a lava team. This basing theme alone makes all Northern Alliance armies look a bit similar. So doing it in a spring, summer or fall theme did cross my mind, but I felt that it doesn't match their winter clothing. So to make the army unique, I came up with 4 elements. First, I'm gonna use my signature pink color scheme. Now number 2, I would like to do a more complex type of snow basing. Instead of just mainly snow, which is like white on ground or gravel, which is probably brownish, I wanted it to be half snow, half grassland, like snow melting or snow just starting to fall. So each base that I did is fully covered in grassland basing first, and then I added snow on top. So I also feel that snow being pure white, it will wash out a lot of detail and wash out a lot of sense of depth. So I did a very light blue wash on the snow. I think the blue tint gives it a bit more depth and some shading. I think the overall effect came out great, especially when the units are on the battlefield on their own. But I realized when I assembled all the units together on the display board and they're clumped together closely, the basing does make it look overall a little too busy, and that's a small shame for how it looks on the display board. Thirdly, I thought of doing it to a Mongolian theme, and yet I also want the army to be considered fully mantic. So I mainly only did head swaps. So I found out that in Warhammer 40,000, white scars are pretty much Mongolians. So there are Mongolian conversion heads out there. So on STL websites, I found and bought 2 suitable sets of Mongolian head STLs. Since they were originally for white scars, some of these heads have cybernetic parts to them. So I couldn't use those heads. Thankfully, there were still quite a number of heads for me to use. For Hrim, I actually cut off the ferrule and brush tip of a brush, and I used it as a high ponytail on its otherwise bald head. The 4th element, I wanted to give it a comic book effect style of painting. I researched online and found out that the style was called cell shaded style. Basically, the colors are not in smooth blends and shades, but in solid blocks of colors. So for example, for pink clothing, there will be an obvious block of lighter pink for the highlights, and the darker areas will be a darker pink, but it is very clearly differentiated in different blocks. So secondly, there will be outlines between the different colors. So I felt the cell shaded paint style is too time consuming, and I was also not confident of doing it well with my mediocre average painting skill. So I decided to just do something effective by using a fine tipped black pen and draw outlines on all the models after I'm done painting them. That is still pretty time consuming, so I only did it on some of my units, and then after that I only did it on the front rank of the other units, and after that I gave up altogether. For the display board, I kept it to a simple rectangular box, and for the backdrop I used Mongolian tents. They're called yurts. I also found and 3D printed a front half of a yurt to blend the background into the miniatures. Lastly, I thought about the theme music, which is what you're hearing now. I knew this kind of music exists before I even found it, and sure enough, this is exactly what I wanted. A gung-ho Mongolian metal music with traditional instruments and Mongolian throat singing. And this is my Northern Alliance.
Hi, 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 hi.